Hello, everyone. Looks like we are live. So yeah, we're gonna try to see if we can turn this into a W here. We finally last episode got we got the battle we were wanting. We finally super combated some Nifl giants, but we haven't. I don't know where all of their big blue divas are. Um, Like, we haven't really killed hardly any of the big blue giants. I'm wondering if they got killed against, like, Caleb? But anyway, you can see this goes much better for us than previous attempts. We also got these guys became famous heroes. So, Pyrrhic Victory got heroic toughness, which is sick. He's going to be up at 200 hit points, not very long, with enlarge and things like that. And then this guy got unequaled obesity, which is also sick. You get more strength, which is sort of wasted, but you get a ton more encumbrance. So we probably need to think about putting some reinvigoration armor on this guy like that. Let's see if we can make it actually. Oh god. Like we haven't been minding this. Somebody's been hitting in turn here. I mean, I haven't done any turns while you guys weren't here, but I know at the end of last episode, we were steaming through trying to get the battle we wanted. So we're doing turns very quickly, which I have a tendency to do. I don't put the kind of effort, love, and care into my single player games that I do into multiplayer, which I think is normal. I think pretty much everybody would spend a lot more time on multiplayer games. Oh my god. We may have overproduced Boots of the Messenger, folks. We may have done it. I don't think this is balanced production. That's why it's important to actually come in here and like lay things out in kits. It's like, how many full kits do we have? None. They're missing a ton of miscellaneous items. So it'll take a few turns to recover. So we're gonna have to rescript all of that. Here, let's first have her make some special armor for that guy. That's going to give some reinvigoration. This gives some. I think there's like meteoric plate. There's a couple things that might do it. Dumb Bigfoot squad for life. That's funny. Yeah, but I think this is what we're going to go for on that guy. And now on these things, we basically need. I'm going to do 2 girdles of might, and then we're going to alternate back and forth here. Because we've got to fill up those kits. Now, hopefully we can use maybe... The problem is... So here's the problem. One of the many problems. Calum, you can't really use the... like, I'm making all these thug kits. It's not that smart. Here's the reason. Calum, you can't really thug against birds because they jump on you turn 1. So you can't really, like, buff up very well. So that's kind of a problem. Our guys also go berserk, so if they get poked turn 1, they, yeah. They can't finish their script. And the Calum birds also have, like, lance charges, so they're very likely, even if they would, like, normally struggle to kill you, they're very likely to poke you. Yeah. I just had a game where I was playing Hinam against the birds, and it's very frustrating when you can't fluff your super combatants. Okay. So we'll have to see what we do there. I don't think we've... Yeah, okay. We also probably should go back to making gentles. Hopefully I remember next turn we'll come and toggle on production. But yeah, that'll be cool. We'll make some armor for those guys. So we've won. We finally got our big battle here. We stormed this fort. We've also figured out how to get these guys to actually use their main weapon rather than to throw doo-doo at people. I think this is something that Illwinter really could improve on. I don't know how to... Because this is... I think they might have improved. I'm not sure. They may have improved on it for units that are like normal, that aren't undisciplined. But like, I wonder how you're supposed... Like, when they made this, I'm wondering what they were thinking about it. Because they were thinking it was pretty good, because they made it 12 gold. And I think it is pretty good. It's got the resistances. It's got dark vision a little bit. Like, it's kind of good. But that's relying on it not using sticks and stones or getting to choose. I don't know how you fix this without taking away Undisciplined. Maybe I could make him go berserk. But even then, it just is a weird unit design. It's a very weird unit design. And the fact that the way you get around it is by cheesing it, by putting in some guys like this is very weird. Anyway, we figured out how to actually use them, so that's good. We're going to have this army move here, and we're going to have this army move here. And by the way, welcome to everybody who's in chat. We have Internet Bassifil, who says they're in a multiplayer game on the back end with these guys, so that's fun. Is Alint Zero a hero for this faction? I have no idea. Do we have luck scales at all? We don't, so we're unlikely to see many heroes. I understand the Eruption Mace and the Sword of Sharpness, but why the Coral Blade? Doesn't seem like it would kill fast enough. The Coral Blade is mostly for the hit points. So the Coral Blade is actually a tanking item more than anything. It's also pretty good against thugs or like elites, kind of. Because you'll draw blood. Like, Niffle Giants are like the tier of elites this would be okay against, because most things, like units proccing draw blood doesn't matter. If you're hitting them with a thug, you want to just kill them. But it also has pretty good stats. In my opinion, it's one of kind of the best all-rounder items. It's very good. It's not going to be that great on things like a Gentle, which already have a ton of hit points. But on things like these guys, who have a lot, but would surely like a few more, it is kind of good. So, yeah, that's it. Let's hit enter and see what happens. Is the Basque Santa Claus? He's a giant? That's pretty funny. Your game you've had luck to for the whole game. It's turn 71. Never seen a hero. Huh. It's unfortunate. I'm sure there's some in here. I can't think of any nation where Illwinter literally did 0 heroes. And I've got Worthy Heroes on, I believe. So there's a chance that the Worthy Heroes crew, which I think is mostly Red Rob, who I know a lot of people have helped with it over the years, there's a chance they added some heroes. We found a magic site. Well of Yesterday's Waters. Ooh. That's pretty nice. We can certainly use that astral income. Niflheim rides out. Dear... Okay, we've found... Okay. Okay, hold up. This is their prophet. Dear Jesus. So he's going to divine blessing everyone. 4 Niffle Giants in a big fat dream. I think we got this. We put our dream team up front. They're only scripted a few things, and then they're going to run in. And they're big enough that they're going to wade through these guys. So that's going to be a fun thing to see. See, they wade through, and they're going to just butcher this guy, or they should. Now, their attack stats are not amazing, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Because look at these guys' defense. Oh, it's not that good either. How much harass do they have? Oh, 6. Okay. You know, still, for these guys being in an army, I should have considered doing quickness on them. And maybe cutting out other parts of the script. Okay, yeah, they deleted that one. I feel like this is starting... Okay, we're getting a little bit... Wait, why are they shooting? Wait, didn't I put the infantry in here? I swear to God. Maybe you have to have enough? Why are they shooting? Oh my God. I'm so frustrated. I can't, it's the stupidest thing. And we didn't give him the full buff script because he was going to be in a thing by himself. Okay, fortunately he doesn't give a shit. He will kill them all. Who is this? Pyrrhic Victory? True enough. Get the fuck out of here. It's my capital now. until there was one. Oh no, we've routed. But we're berserked. But we've routed. What turn is it? Oh, it's R I hit. 80. I see. Okay, he got her. I don't know where he was going. Oh, man. What happened? I thought we had finally sorted this out. Unless I didn't have the right things in this army. No, I do. They're in one squad. I've got these guys mixed in. This before has made them not shoot. And to actually use their weapon like they're supposed to. No, you guys have a 22 damage Great Club. Dear Jesus. Dear Jesus. And then these guys run in and die, and they're expensive and sort of hard to replace. Oh man. We tried, guys. We really tried to make this work. Maybe it's a proportion thing. We're gonna do some testing. Okay, we killed these things at least. Did these guys properly go into wade into melee as they should? They did. Okay, we're gonna do some tests. We're gonna do some tests because I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play this faction like this. It's too janky. It's too janky. How do we play in a game like this? Before, we had noticed it was not consistent. When we were using the Barbarians, I was thinking maybe it had something to do with the fact that Barbarians are undisciplined. But we're going to have to figure this out, because I don't actually know how to do turns. When sometimes they're going to be completely useless garbage, and other times they're going to be pretty good. Doesn't really matter here. Okay. Why not? Can't both be Pyrene. Let's snap, crackle, and pop here. And then... Okay. How in the fuck does this work? So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, we're a little low on cash. We're gonna try 100, so it's gonna be easy to do the percents. And we're going to see what it takes to make them go in melee. So let's try 100. Let's make a couple of these guys too. We're going to need a couple of them. Okay. So how many do we have? 75. So we can actually do 2 tests here. Let's get 50 actually. 50 in the top one, and we'll get 50 in the bottom one. And then we're going to see if it has to do with ratios. We're just going to see if that has to do with it at first. So this first one's going to have a ton of them, and this next one's only going to have, let's say 2. Okay? And we're going to put one of them up here, and we're going to put one of them down here, and we're going to see, is this how this indeed works? Maybe Pyrene's kind of... This isn't... They're not... It's not that the nation's buggy, it's the mechanic is buggy. Kind of. I mean, it's a little bit the nation, because they chose to put these on the same thing, but other units have... You know, like Bandar warriors have sticks and stones, but they don't have undisciplined, so you're able to mostly choose. But even that can be bugged out a little bit. Like, if you guys go and watch my tournament qualifiers thing with Man, I was very frustrated because I was using wardens, and they had like a crossbow. Okay, so these guys are shooting with only a few. These guys are shooting 2 with a lot. Oh, buddy. on Earth, I mean, this was a huge ratio. These guys had a tremendous amount of these dudes. More than the people in the other thing. How would that... How am I supposed to use... How am I supposed to do this? How is this supposed to work? Chat, I need help. Over 50%. All right, we're going back to maths. We will not let maths down. Let's put some PD here. We will not let maths down. Okay, let's get this back to our 50-50 thing. Boop. And then 47. Okay, 50. Okay, we're actually going to reduce this to 25. And we're going to put in 50 of these guys. So now it's a small minority. This wouldn't be usable in game. And we have seen them in our own game go into melee with fewer than these guys. But we're going to see if it has... Maybe it has something to do with something other than this. Maybe, you know... Maybe it's completely fucking random, too. I mean, who knows? Is this guy leaving? Okay. Just embrace it and cast poison arrows and flaming arrows. We are getting there. We're close to the point... And we've killed most of the nipple giants. But, like, you saw that like, we lost that battle on the capital. And that lost. I mean, we technically won, thanks to our super combatant. But, okay, these guys did it. They went into melee. And this was the army with almost all... Huh. So how... Is there a magic number? I can't imagine, because we've seen in a game... Okay, we'll try it again. What is going on here? What is it? Is it, let's see. What if we do a third? What if we do 25? Okay, is this some kind of tipping point? And on this one, it's 36 or 35. Let's do just 10. But it's weird because I've seen it work with fewer. So I kind of don't even know what I'm testing here. But do a bit of PD here. But it's buggy even for other units. Like I was telling you about the man thing. But like if their first target dies, they lose whatever order they had. So if you put them on attack closest and they put some bait squad up front and that thing just dies, once that squad's dead, they'll just switch to shooting. That may have been fixed in Dominion 6, which would be cool. So this is a third and they're still shooting. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I'm kind of tempted. I kind of don't want to play them anymore. I'll be completely honest. It's the most bullshit garbage thing. I kind of can't. I thought we had figured it out, and I was like, okay, we'll play it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I can't do that many more turns of this. We could embrace it and switch to the archery, which we kind of were intending to do, but I'm kind of too bummed out. So you could get Hypnotize out of the Nagas. Hypnotize is a melee attack, my friend. It's the Poison Spit you were trying to get, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Nithel's boned. We could probably win this. I just am not going to have fun doing it. I'm going to be so angry about this. I have no idea how to do this. Anyway. Maybe that was their intention. Maybe their intention was to have a guy with a big club that literally they're going to sit there for the first 15 turns and throw stones, and anything with the shield is going to kill them. I don't know. The problem, I'll show you too. We'll watch this battle again. I'll show you why it's really bad. You're like, okay, well, we'll just embrace the thing. If they close in melee, then they'll be good in melee. They're in a sparse formation. So watch how the actual engagement takes place. Okay, so like, look, these guys are one per tile, and they're not, nobody's trying to fix it, right? So they're gonna walk up, and they're fighting as a size 3 against a size 6. And there's nobody 3 per tile yet. These guys are all spread out. So that's kind of the problem, is that you've got a very unadvantageous front. Like, even here where things look okay, it's like, okay, but then as soon as one of these guys die, normally they would get backfilled, right? So somebody would step in their place, and then they would overwhelm these guys. But that's not really happening, right? So you're taking an extremely disadvantageous melee engagement with these. There might be an option with Growing Fury. This doesn't insta-trigger Berserk, though. This will give them Berserker, but it doesn't trigger Berserk, so I don't think it's going to necessarily switch over the... make them all melee. All right. So we're going to actually switch this stream. I'm pronouncing this playthrough dead. I think we could win it, to be fair. We're pretty close to being able to do Earthblood Deepwell if we start saving. We could do Mother Oak this turn. You know, these are going to be good things. We have a lot of research which is about to come online. Our cave cows are going. It would be fun to test this. I cannot be bothered, guys. This is too stupid of a mechanic. Anyway, and the thing, okay, let's do a little bit. So we might play a different nation here, because that will be kind of fun. But before we do that, let's do a bit of a summary about like how you might be able to play this nation, because basically the national overview I did for this nation is bunk. It's completely worthless in terms of the units. The majors and thugs and stuff is still cool. But the problem is the sticks and stones. So how would you actually do this? Because the problem is, in EA, you have actually really good sacreds. Like, you have Van Heers and stuff. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe what you do is you make one of these garbage infantry. So these are size 6, and these are size 3. See, this isn't good, though, right? But I think the way it'd be better than what we did. And it would take a lot of resources, which we weren't really using. For certain types of things that don't have shield and don't have armor, which are not that common, you could still do this and lean into the sticks and stones. But I think, versus most stuff, you would probably want to make this infantry and then have it backed up by the giants. And the idea is these guys are big enough that they can wade through these guys, I believe. I think you have to be size 3 difference. So these guys will walk through. So you can have like a line of infantry and then have these guys kind of swarm in behind. And that will kind of kill anything that the infantry isn't killing. And what else could you do for them? Be kind of cool to get quickness on them, but you don't really have water 2s super easily. I guess you do with a lot of these. These are all water 2s. Or no, they're not all, but a fair number of them are. I mean, you could do quickness spam on some of the giants. That could maybe work. It's not amazing. Is this a custom faction? No, this is one of the new factions for Dominion 6. We need to tell Ilin or fix the cavemen. I mean, yeah. It would be cool to use... in theory, they're a very good unit. If you could just tell them, be ranged or be melee. That, honestly, if there was just a checkbox... This is actually needed, in my opinion. Right? So, here's my... I might link it to them in the beta. Here's my... Unfortunately, I'm so salty in this video. It's probably... The thing is, when you make a video game, it's your baby. And it hurts getting feedback about your baby, probably a little bit. I mean, Illwinter's good about it, but I don't know. When... I'm sure it's hard listening to somebody angrily rant about your baby. You're like, no, it's precious. Okay, but I might link him to it. So here's my spiel. There should, in this UI, I think, like when, maybe it could be right here, and it could just be a toggle that says like, ignore ranged weapons. Right? Or maybe it's like by default checked, and it's like use ranged. Right? There'd be weird interactions, right? Because if we make... who do I have that has ranged weapons built in? Nobody. That I can script. Do I have a bow? I'll make a bow real quick. Well, I mean, we can still script these guys. I forget they have it. So you could do... Oh, we don't get the fire command, huh? Do I have a scout? Oh, this guy can fire. Right. So... you can fire like this, right? Or you can fire like this. And in theory, this is how you decide between whether you want your units that have a melee and a ranged attack to fire or to attack. But as we discussed, and as anybody who's played like pretty seriously a nation that has units with melee and ranged, this doesn't really work. Because as soon as whenever they go to this command, the fire command, they're going to lock onto whatever target that is. If that target is dead, that command is now dead, and they switch back to kind of some auto behavior. So this is actually, even for units which you can script, which cavemen you can't because they're undisciplined. Even for units that you can script, this is insufficient, right? And some types of units, they have a range, you never want them to use it, so you'd put them on attack closest. Won't necessarily work. The thing that does tend to work, I believe, is if you put them on fire, they're generally going to fire for forever. But the thing that might not work is if you have them on attack, they might switch over to fire. So I think what you would just want to have is a check mark here or something that says, melee only. Right? And by default, it's not checked, but you could check it. Or for units, there could be a checkbox here or something that says melee only. I mean, it makes maybe there's a way to do it in this. The problem is if you do it in this menu, then for the undisciplined units, they don't get access to that. Like, we can't script these guys. Like, we can't even click on this, right? And as I was saying, because like when the original target dies and stuff, that window is not sufficient. Oh, this is one of the heroes, by the way. Omenvoy. Yeah, this is not sufficient. This window here because of how that behavior works. So I think I don't know, it's kind of kludgy. It's not a beautiful UI. Maybe I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but I think you just want a checkbox here. Anyway. Let's see what you guys are saying after I've been ranting and raving. Is there a way to get a commander with the tight rein? No, I don't think so. And I mean, I don't think that. I think that the problem's generic enough where the problem shouldn't be the fact that it's undisciplined. It's that there should be a way to pick between these. It would be great if you had the option that they're only going to use their clubs, or they can use both, or they can use... Yeah. The problem, if you put something on fire, it will fire. That's not an issue. The problem is it's hard to get things to reliably do melee. So I think, yeah. But yeah, Pyrene, I think there's only one nation that has it that I'm aware of. That might change in the future, but I believe it's Middle-Age Pythium. The Nidgavir, Nidavangar, yeah, I think that's... Cub Mother command has a tag, if I recall, it could be used for cavemen, huh? I would also like a toggle for mages, whether it be artillery or buffers. Yeah. That's the thing. It's so easy. I think this is important to consider when you're like making a video game or something, is that on one hand, players are always going to be like, hey, let me like customize this and make it where I can optimize what these things do. The problem is if you make everything where you can optimize it, then for like top level play, you have to optimize it, right? Like, what if I could move things around in the battle? Like, let me give everything like an exact script. Like, I want to draw out on the battlefield. I want you to swing up this way and come here. And then I want this guy, we're going to put them right here, and I'm going to give them in order to come forward and then come back. Like if you make it where you can control all the details, the game would be horrible to play, right? Because first of all, you now have to spend even longer scripting, like what if you could put them all, like I don't want to have any kind of constraints on how many squads I can have. I want to put them individually on the battlefield, and that way I can have them do all sorts of tactics you couldn't do if they were in a single thing. So I guess what I'm saying is, anything that you give players in a game that they can optimize, they're going to have to optimize it. And that's going to make the game kind of potentially suck. So it's an important consideration, I think, when you're adding features to a game. But I do think this needs to be fixed. It's extremely frustrating. I don't know what the solution is. A checkbox is easy, but yeah. It would be cool. I mean, I think it would be cool to give mages more scripting options too, but I'm just saying that is a downside. Main weapon tag. Yeah, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. Anyone know if the new assassination events are better in luck scales now? I had a lot of in-assassinations in high luck. I have no idea about that. That's interesting. I doubt it. Yeah, I feel like the lack of dire control is definitely a part of... Yeah. Direct control is a part of Dominion's design. Yeah, it's an auto-battler. So, okay. I think what we're going to do, because I did want to stream for a bit, and I don't want to play this nation anymore. I thought it was going to be really cool, and then, quite frankly, the unit that I thought was cool, I can't use. So, let's play Asphodel. Asphodel got reworked. It's going to, it got reworked from Dominions 5 to Dominion 6. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about it now. It's going to be a preview for a patch. It's also got patched again in the latest patch that's on the beta. I might not should be sharing some of this with you. I'll have to beg for forgiveness, but it's pretty cool now. There's a bunch of things that are interesting with it. So you get Black's Minotaur, which are new. They're tramplers that can go berserk. But they're going to have fatigue issues, as with any berserkers that trample. They don't get a commander. It would be I wonder if you could thug out commanders, a commander version. They get these guys, but they're not sacred. But it doesn't look much different from this, but a few things have been reworked. They... Well, a few things are just different. One is that you can now turn things into forests. And forests are a big deal for Asphodel. There's also a pop protection. It's not significant. It's only 1,000, basically, for a fort. So it protects a little bit of population, but hardly anything. There was a version of the game where it would correct a fair amount. Or protect a fair amount, but now it doesn't. So the other thing is that the free spawn mechanics have been reworked a bit. There's more kinds of free spawn. And the free spawn you get scales based on your growth and on your magic. The magic is going to affect the quality, and the growth, I believe, is going to affect the quantity, as well as the number of candles you have. So to maximize like free spawn generation, you want high dominion, high growth, and high magic, but that can be pretty expensive. The way I advocated playing Asphodel, your baby isn't working as intended, sir. Yeah. Try vamp weapons. It's good shit. Yeah, no, this was the one nation I thought vamp weapons might be worth it on. Actually, I have a test. Do I have a test game? I know I tested them earlier today. I think I overrode it. Yeah, we'll make a test game in a second. But there's new free spawn you get. There's a new sacred free spawn, which is fucking cool. There's a new spell you get where you can turn your guys into mindless mannequins. Yeah, there's some pretty cool shit. So the other things, of course, is that all these scales can go up higher than before, potentially. And you get a growth limit of 2, so you can get growth 4 with your nation. Magic limit +1. Sadly, there's not a way. It would be cool. It's kind of weird they don't let you. It would be cool to take Magic 4 or something, but you can't. I think that might have changed as well, because I remember before I was like, I wanted to take this guy because this guy gives you a bonus magic, so he lets you go up to Magic 3, but you can do that with anyone now. Because I think that's a new thing in this patch, I guess. But yeah, you can go Magic 3 with anybody, and you can do Growth 4 with anybody. The other kind of weird thing is that it's kind of interesting. They added all these cool monsters. Like these guys they added, which are cool. These guys they added, which are cool. These guys they added, which are cool. Like, and look at this dragon sprite. This thing's fucking awesome. This thing's badass. They also have carrion vines. This will make it where you get permanent undead when you kill things, because it will put carrion seeds in them. That's some sick shit. It's super fucking cool. These guys get carrion vines too. Some of your sacred centaur get carrion vines or carrion bows, which will also do the same thing. So this is cool shit. However, there is a problem. Oh, a worm soul. I don't remember this. Disease explosion on death? Dude, this guy looks fucking cool. There are problems. And this is something that we kind of have known since very early on, is that the things they give you, growth and magic, like, this is only available, I'm sorry, for Asphodel. But look, like, I'll take this guy who gives order, right? We can take growth 4 and magic 3, right? This guy who gives magic and growth, we can take growth 4 and magic 3. They literally don't do, like, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't help at all. Yeah, and I think these are the only nations that get them. Maybe there's a couple other that can get it. If these are available, let's see if Pangea can get it. If any other nation should get it, it should be like middle-aged Pangea. And they could be like an Asphodel flavored. Okay, they get it. So it could make sense on those nations. That's fair. But on Asphodel, it doesn't make sense. Or, I mean, it could make sense if you like the chassis a lot. It's a small part of the thing you're not going to be able to benefit from. I don't know what the solution to that is either. But, so yeah, it's pretty sick. So we'll try playing them here. For those of you who came for Pyrene, hopefully you stick around for Asphodel. Now, what we're going to want, we don't want anything that's going to give us a malice to grow. So any of the pretenders that give death, that's not good. Any of the pretenders that give drain, like this guy, that's not good. But things that let us dump our other scales, chef's kiss. So let's take a look at what things here let us dump other scales. This guy does. That guy gives us 1 scale. The Gorgons do. The Gorgons could be cool. The Immortal Gorgon, that's expensive as hell. Oh, these guys, let's look at these pretenders again, because I didn't extol all the virtues of them that are interesting. So they come with recuperation built in. Sick. This one's a 3-path Titan, which is very nice. They also have death power, which I was thinking this would be cooler. So you get MR now too. And at 3 stacks, getting 3 strength, 3 attack, 3 defense, 3 more combat speed, and 3 MR is kind of significant, but it's definitely not good if you're losing magic paths. It's definitely not a good trade. Like, losing 1 magic path and getting these, I don't think is good, really, ever. Most of these things don't even matter that much for a super combatant. These aren't really very important stats most of the time. The defense is a little bit, and the attack can be, but most of the time it's not a big difference. Most of the time you care about like hit points and protection. Defense sometimes. It would be interesting if this didn't like gave you a chance, sort of like Uruk or something, where you had a chance to dodge the magic, like losing a magic path. Like if you were half as likely to lose a magic path when you die. That's just cool in and of itself, you know? I think if you lost it, if you didn't have anything, like if you had no chance of losing a magic path, that might be a little busted. Or not busted, it would just, I feel like it would creep on Uruk's turf. You know, that's like a very special thing they get. Anyway, let's keep looking. Death, we don't want to do any of these guys. The dragons, we could dump temperature a bit more. The thing that really wrecks, in fact, there's a good reason to consider taking the frost dragon, I think. Help with expansion. Cold scales are really good. Our guys are not immune to cold. It's a kind of weird, let me actually just pull up a test game real quick. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing where I was like, did I pick Pangea instead? They're undead. They're a very strange undead. We'll just let's get one of these things real quick. Oh man, we got vegan. Let's call this guy. Somebody had a hero, they named him Vegan, and he's badass. Hateful Vines. So yeah, here's some of the. There's horses, and these are cool because you can get like there's a way to convert mounted units, and they can be like, you know, riding on their carry-on horse now. So that's a new thing. I think everything else, they finally fixed harpies. It might have been a previous patch. They're map move 20 now. Praise Jesus. This is my favorite change of Dominions. One of my favorite changes. It was so annoying because you would have to move armies around and you like want them to move at map move 20. Like here you can see it's map move 20, but there you would always have to come in, select the harpies and pull them out because they were map move 14 for whatever reason. We haven't got any of the new ones yet. We'll sit here for a second. Did we get some? Okay, so here are the Sacreds. They get this carry-on bow, which is kind of sick. Most of the things haven't changed. The elephants are still busted. These guys are awesome. The Mandragoras. Hey, we're not going to bark. We haven't gotten any of the special ones yet. I wonder if you have... Maybe you have to have scales I don't have or something. I definitely got them in the other game. Did we get some? I don't see any. I'll hit it like 10 times. I'm sure we'll get some. And... Well, that's strange. I don't... Okay. Well, we'll leave that as a spoiler for like once we actually play. But the thing is, what I was saying is that if you're playing in heat, these guys... Oh, they do have cold resistance. I could have sworn they did. Maybe that changed. Okay. Well, you definitely want to play with them with heat because fire elementals have fire shield, and fire shield is going to ruin these because these guys will hit, I believe. Bear, stop. These guys are going to hit with their sleep vine attack first before they do any damage. And for most of these, like the little mannequins, let me get these guys. 3 attacks are going... It's a linked 0. Oh, it's a linked 3 now. So it's at least not going to be quite as bad. I think it used to be linked 0. Maybe it was always linked 3. But regardless, 0 protection unit hitting fire shield 3 times with this, they blow up on fire elementals. Like, fire elementals kill infinity of these things. Like, I think... And somebody was saying... I was like, hey, how can... This is back in Dominions 5. How can you thug Asphodel? And they're like, you shouldn't try to thug them because they're designed with this fatigue attack to, like, kill thugs. His idea is, like, how's a thug going to kill them if you fatigue them out? And the answer is you just put fire shield on a thug. And, like, an ungeared thug with iron skin... I was playing Ubar. Not Ubar. Nabah. But, yeah, just a mage with iron skin and fire shield and, like, I think iron will... just kills like 200 of these guys that run up and try to attack him. No gear on them. So yeah, that's about how good that is. So you do have to worry about fire elementals. Cold 3, fire elementals are a lot worse. So that's a consideration. And it turns out they do have cold resistance. I was thinking they didn't. Maybe that's a change or maybe I misremembered. My bet is that I misremembered. So that's cool. They're still lifeless, which is a little weird to me. But yeah, so they do... Well, let me see if I can... I don't know why we're not getting any of the cool dudes. Maybe you actually have to reanimate them. Maybe they don't... Oh no, we just got some. Here they are. These are the new guys. So you get... They've got... First of all, they look fucking awesome. I love this staff they've got. The Skull Club. This is one of my favorite sprites now in the game. I love this. So they've got a sleep vine attack, cool. They've got this Skull Club, which does a boatload of magic damage, I will point out. And it is going to it's a little bit like the Lion Warriors in EA Machaca. So it's going to do fatigue damage to people it hits. So, yeah, and this is MR negates. This is not MR negates. So you might be like, why would you need more fatigue damage? First, things like thugs and stuff that have really high MR, this could be more important. They also get a gore attack. Yeah, they're pretty sick. They've got Berserker 5, which is going to stack with their natural protection. It's going to put them at 14 natural protection. Sorry, I'm bad at math. Otherwise, their stats aren't amazing. Like, the strength is obviously really good, but, like, the attack and defense aren't great. But attack is going to jump up to 16 when they take damage. So, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I think this is a sick unit. And giving them some scaling sacreds might make it... The problem, traditionally, with Asphodel has been, if you lean into making the Black Centaurs, you need to have a fair amount of Dominion. And if you have a lot of Dominion, then your population is going to go to 0. Like here, we're playing with debug mod. I had a fuck ton of population to start with. But your population is going to go to 0. If we click on population, you can see how much is protected. And the fort protects 1,000. So it will go to 1,000 very quickly. At 1,000 population, your capital, you'll be able to make maybe 1 black centaur a turn. Maybe. So that kind of sucks. So you're not going to be able to make many of these for very long, and you've invested a fair amount into it, like a bless. And then the problem before had been, like, these sacreds are not good enough. Like, they're not, you can't really use them. So it's not like a bless you get on your black centaur is going to be useful on these guys. Now you can see you do not get many of these. You definitely get fewer of these guys than you would have gotten of the bows. But at least you get some. So there's some way to transition into like having a strong bless into having some other unit. So that's cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get around to trying to play this. So let's make a pretender for them. First of all, let's see if I already made any. Oh yeah, we've made a lot. You can see I did a fair amount of playing around with them. I don't know what was this? It needs to be deleted. Reforming flesh and magic resistance. I took this back in the day because I wanted to have access to Magic 3. You don't need this chassis anymore for that. So anyway, this one, Reforming Flesh and Blood Vengeance. I think Reforming Flesh is pretty good in general. It's going to work on inanimates. Not sure about Blood Vengeance. Could be good. The nice thing about Blood Vengeance is you have chaff swarms, and having Blood Vengeance in an army of chaff is going to help to protect it from battlefield wipes. So there's a strong case for something like this. The paths here are pretty good. Mother of Monsters. Here we did Reforming Flesh, Frost Mist weapons. What do we have here? Chilara, Frost Mist weapons, fire resistance. Vampiric weapons. Here we go. Somebody was wanting this. I think if you're not in club range, you just throw. I saw some guys swinging a club when they were next to the opponent. Yeah, when they're actually any ranged unit, when they're in melee, will use their melee attack. Resilience of the Earth, fire shock resistance, and vampiric weapons. This is something you should consider for this nation. It's maybe the only nation where vampiric weapons might be good. I don't know. There might be a couple. It's a very expensive bless, and it procs a lot less than you would think. We'll talk about it a little bit. For vampiric weapons to work, you can't kill the unit, but you have to damage it. So that's already like a sort... Dominions isn't a game where you like poke at people 100 times for the most part, doing a tiny bit of chip damage every time. It's a game where you've got a reasonably good chance when you swing a sword at somebody to 1-hit kill them, or if not, then 2-hit kill them. And if you 2-hit kill somebody, then on the second hit, you're not going to get the vampiric weapons proc. You'll get it on the first one, and then it's 3 armor negating drain damage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's really that amazing. But this would be in the nation to try it because those fatigue damage from the sleep vines can trigger it, which is the cool thing about it on this nation. Reforming Flesh Fear. That could be kind of interesting. Didn't we have some? I think some of our guys. I think the big Minotaur guy had Fear. I can't remember. Maybe not. Let's make what would we do for a pretender? If we want to take something that we could do a Drakon. Just keep in the Drakon theme. Did this guy get a breath? No breath. It is transform. I'm going to do a Carrion Lord, so that's kind of cool. Dark Side Cookies. If the pop kill is less, do you take a Centaur Bless? The pop kill isn't less. The pop kill is still very high. If you the other way to play them is you do a 1 Dominion build. And you just do 1 Dominion. And you never build that many temples. I feel like the free spawn might have improved enough where it might be interesting. It certainly would probably be more fun, especially in like single player, to play with the bless and try to lean into the sacreds. But yeah. What would we do? But you can, it may still be that a one Dominion build is optimal, and that way you basically negate most of your pop kill, and you play them like a strange Pangea. And you can still, because you can still get the reanimator like priests, you can still have a fair amount of free spawn, and you can still preach your Dominion up above one. So if you want to preach it up in forests or low income provinces. But you can still that way protect your high income provinces. Let's take a look here. Who would we go with? Can't take death. Could do something like this. We could do Black Dragon's a blast for me. The beam dragons are so fun. You're on a dragon kick? Yeah, the dragons are pretty cool. The black dragon is sick. I mean, we could take strength and do like a big long beam. What is it for their strength? Strength divided by 3. I mean, a far shot bless isn't crazy. We do have ranged sacreds. Let's take a look at the carry-on bow again real quick. Half of wielder strength is added. I mean, it seems like a meme. Range is 35. It's probably not good. But you could do a. This is a nation you could think about doing a far shot. We'll at least make it, so you know, for the content. We might not play with it here, but I mean, this is a magic phase capable dragon. That can also forge Staff of Elemental Mastery. It's not that expensive in the scheme of things, but I mean, we could do. I think it works for this beam. Yeah, what it doesn't work for the. I'm not sure. I think it works for this one. Far shot, strength, something like this. What about stacking weapon blesses? Oh yeah, these guys do get weapon blesses on. I think that's another thing. Arco put a video out where he was talking about certain weapon blesses get added to this. So I don't. Who would that actually work on? It doesn't work on things that... It has to work on things that actually do direct damage. So not something like a plague breath, not like a poison breath. Probably not this. It might work on the dragon lightning, but it would work on the beam. It would work on the fire dragon, potentially. I mean, you could do something very stupid. This might be actually funny to try. Okay, let's just go ahead and just preemptively see what this is going to cost. Okay. Get out your wallet. Vampiric weapons, what does it need? Death 4? Blood 8. How do we pay for this? You couldn't go anything more than dormant. We're gonna make the. We're gonna sack. What are we gonna sack? Okay, just because I want to see what it looks like. I just want to test this in a game and see if it works real quick. Wait, not arena. 1 second. Let's do it on one of these. I have a feeling this is going to proc vampiric weapons on every person it hits. Fatigue draining beasts if they stay alive. Yeah. Oh, so we've got to wait a few turns for this to... I'm sorry. I didn't... You could... I don't think you... I don't know if Dragon's Dormant is a thing. You really want to take Dragons Awake? So I'm not... I think it's too expensive to make work. We could take a cheaper beam. But this would be, for Asphodel, maybe the full meme. All right. Where are we at? Still winter. Spring, we should be waking up. All right, change shape. Let's go shoot some people in the face. Fire wait. Yeah, fire closest. Let's see how this works. This is the minion science for you. Well, that's not very impressive. Wait, where are our procs? That's our first +2 I've seen the whole time. Meanwhile, we've gotten an affliction. This is why the vampiric weapon blast kind of sucks. Alright, let's try it again. Let's do it. Here we'll at least, they're gonna shoot at us, so we at least get the chance to just shoot our breath at them, so we get to see if the breath really works. In an ideal situation, how would this happen? It might work on the Frost Dragon okay. Oh, there it went. Look at that. Let's watch that again. That was kind of cool. Venusaur, what's up, man? Welcome. Vincenar. Sorry, I don't know why I say Venusaur. We're just thinking the dragon's going to kill everything in one hit, so Vampiric won't be doing much. Yeah, the reason you get it is for the breath attack. Though the breath attack is also pretty strong and likely to kill people in one hit. Yeah, look at all that. We got a fair amount of hit points there. We got current maximum. Yeah, we got almost 50 hit points from that one blast. And it keeps your fatigue, so you can do this for the whole battle. It's an idea. I wonder if it could work on like Frost Weapon. No, not. This dragon is the other dragon it works on, because this is direct damage. This isn't like a... It adds a cloud, but it does primary damage. So it could work on the Frost Dragon too. Problem is it's just so expensive. I don't think there's a way... It would have to be a death chassis that got a breath attack. And it wouldn't work. It doesn't work on this chassis. Or blood. Yeah, there's not many breath. It's basically just the dragons that get breath attacks. Was he proccing off the bushes? Yeah, he might have been draining the bushes. The bushes aren't lifeless. That should work. Plague breath it doesn't work on, but this would be the ideal. This would be the ideal chassis to do it on. It just the plague breath doesn't actually work for it. This one might be the best. This or the Earth Dragons may be tougher. But these are the two you would probably use, I think. I don't know. It might work on the air one, too. The air one's kind of weird, though. This one also gives you the bonus of getting... How much would it even cost? 8 and 4? You can't, this is not affordable. This one we get to tank temperature at least a little bit more. I mean, you can kind of afford it. What would we? We get to have Magic 3 at least? What would it take to take it awake? I mean, I can't say this isn't affordable. You could, in theory, do this. Let's see, what would it be? You would get vampiric weapons, and then you get... Oh, this might be the build we play with. I don't think this is a good build, but this is going to be funny for a single player thing for just right now. I'm not committing to playing this through. What we have? What, 2 more points? We could get Winter's Gift, which might actually help with... Oh no, but only our sacreds. Cold resistance, I think we have it built in. I'm not totally sure if it's built into the mages too. I didn't remember it being built into the troops. I have a distinct memory. I'm gonna have to go back and look at Dominions 5. Actually, let me pull up Dominions 5. I wonder if I was smoking crack. Do I have an Asphodel game somewhere that I can just click into? I don't. Okay, 1 second. Asphodel, okay. Let's reanimate here real quick. This guy doesn't get cold resistance, and these guys didn't. Okay, I'm not smoking dope. It is actually true. That's a change. So they got cold resistance added to them. So that's interesting. That makes them more viable, because now you can go cold 3 and not fuss too much about the fact that you're cold 3, and you need to take cold 3 so that fire elementals are a little bit less lethal. Just a little bit. Mending Bones. I think we just take Strength of Blood, Strength of Flesh, Enchanted Blood, Strong Blood, Poison Resistance, and 80% Disease Resistance. That actually could be bad. There's an item that you use to convert your guys. Defense is going to be wasted on things with high... I think cold resistance, sort of wasted. Mending Bones, Undead Command. Undying Command might be the thing for moving hordes around. We're also really low Dominion. Maybe the way you play this is as a low Dominion build, because we're already at... I think it's better. We're already not going to be making many sacreds. I think we just lean into that and just go with only 1 here. And maybe we can pick up another path. No. Not quite. Blood 8? Yeah, okay. Shit. Yeah, okay. This is the real dilemma. Do you take the extra 2 Dominion points when you literally can't take anything else? Because it's actually going to dramatically reduce your income for just a couple more sacreds. I don't think you do. What if there was a pretender down here that turned into a dragon? That would be the best. Like, if this nation got Svartalf Mastersmith, oh, buddy. That would be sick. And then you could do a 1 Dominion build with like a really fucking cool pretender. Would Thunder Weapons plus Unholy Weapons work with Divine Attacks to stun and kill Sacreds? Yeah. That could work. Okay, we'll do Strength of Flesh here. We're gonna leave 30 design points on the table. I think Dominion 2 is better than Dominion 4. Dear God. Okay. And we'll just try expansion with these guys real quick. If we do a long form game, it'll be after. I might start a new stream or something. But, ooh, woof. Let's see how this goes. Let's do. Oh, I was gonna say we'd do a meme map, and I would draw it out. But I think we'll just do. We'll play on. Oh no, because we actually. Yeah, I want to use one of these maps that has the terrain changing, because this is the nation that's terraforming. I was going to use Pelor, which is one of the Pymus hand-drawn beautiful maps. But I don't think that makes a ton of sense. When we actually need to see at a glance which things have been turned into forests or not. We'll have this be an AI here. We'll just have a few normal AIs for us to bump into during expansion. All right, let's load up our Frosty Dragon, dear God, where we are intentionally not taking 2 Dominion points. Do the Undead Freespawn have Dark Vision or Twilight or Nightfall casting? They do. Yeah. Trusty Research. What do we want to pick up here? Let's get, let's change our god. So our god, we need Skeletal Body. That's going to be Alteration 1. And then we would want to have, what do we want? Water, Death, and Blood. Water, Quicken Self is, I think, what we would also want. Okay. And that's all we have points for. And then after that, maybe we run up to Liquid Body. You know, a lot of times you would want something down here. I'm not sure there's really much for us at the moment. Okay, we're going to research with you, and then these guys are going to patrol. We will get a couple of these guys every turn, but we're mostly going to be making the normal Centaur. And this is going to be a much less poor Asphodel than perhaps you were used to seeing. Yeah, we can only get 1 Black Centaur, because if we make a mage and all our mages are sacred, well, we know how that goes. Let's make a Dryad and have her site search. And we'll make this guy a prophet as well. I didn't enable renaming. Liquid Body, yeah. I found Reanimators on a Frost Dragon fun because your spawnlings survive the cold. Yeah, that would be fun. Okay, let's see how this does here. No promises that this goes even... Oh, Heavy Cav, no thank you. This is exactly what we want to fight. Archers and shit. Gimme. Alright, so Skeletal Body's the first thing. Then we're going to do Quicken Self, and then we're going to do Fire Closest. 60 Heavy Cav is kind of a lot. I think we actually are going to wait a turn. Heavy Infantry and Heavy Cav, that's going to demolish what I have. It's better to just wait. Oh man, look at the paths on her. Let's bring her over to Site Search. We are a wee bit poor here. $170. Yeah, okay. I mean, we need troops. We're going to just turn off mage recruitment for a turn. Oh, what do I need to cast more of these? I want to get more Centaur. Oh, okay. We're not going to bring her. I actually want to get more of these carry-on Centaurs here. I might need to get one of these. So we're going to save up, say, one of these black dryads, and she's going to be doing that job, and then we're going to send the dryad hag out. Probably if I could do it again, I would have gotten this one first. If we're talking about like optimizing a build order, which whatever, we're doing like a really weird meme. Okay. How does this crazy fucking bless do? The unknowing indies. All day. And the interesting thing about this is we actually can... sort of? No, we can't. I'd be like, we can shoot this right over our mannequins. Not really. They have 5 frost resistance. They don't have 10. Or 15. You really need like 15 to survive this, probably. But we don't care about our mannequins that much. I mean, we'll gladly kill them. It's what they deserve, no less. Okay, fortunately, the report is a lot less this time. That means it's probably around like 40. And we have more troops. So we actually can oh, and we got an elephant. Okay. The other nice thing, if we were to have taken Undead Command, is we would be able to lead these guys around with this stack. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring these guys over here. We're going to combine these so we get less of a morale penalty. We're going to split these up. I'm going to take the guys which I kind of want to kill off. Like these harpies and these dogs. And we're going to put them up at the front on attack cavalry. We're going to put these guys... on attack cavalry. And we're going to put them right here. We're going to put these guys in a big blob right here. And we're going to put... yeah, they're going to walk up and use their javelins. And then these guys are going to... attack cavalry too, but from way back here. We're going to do Divine Blessing, advance, and cast spells. You know what? I should put him right next to the... these guys have perfect morale, so you can put them in as many squads as you want. There's not any kind of like optimization you have to do there. But we're going to put this guy on hold and attack cavalry. And we're going to do quick routes and stuff on as many people as we can. Oh, maybe we put... okay, just like this. Just like this. Okay, and then this guy's going to do Divine Blessing. And then he's going to do Regrowth. And then he's going to do... I think we'll just put him on advance and cast spells after that. Attack cavalry, hold and attack cavalry. This guy will wade. Okay. We do want to get one of these ladies now. We're going to slow down recruitment for a hot second. And we should be able to make one more centaur to get our free spawn going here. That might be the last centaur carry-on centaur we make for a second, so we can start getting a fort. Because we have to save nature gems for our fort. Yeah, the problem is sometimes they really miss a lot with that breath. But quickness is pretty good with vampiric weapons, too. Well, I mean, it's okay. We end up killing everything in one hit, so it doesn't really proc when we're in melee. Let's see if we botched this scripting horribly. Oh, that bait works. Those guys didn't really do what I said. Wait, what happened? Nobody... didn't I do attack cavalry? Were they going for... who are these guys targeting? The commanders? Huh. That's what it looks like. Oh, somebody back here, they just fucked this guy up. I don't know who that was. Who was that? Priests? Why did they go on the priests? They did not like them. Did this guy proc... Okay, this guy procced it at least once. Weapon drain effect, weapon drain effect. We'll see weapon drain effect. Here we go. 0 points of life drain. This guy had it proc once the whole fight. This guy... This is why it's not a good bless. In general. Hasn't procced yet. Procced but didn't do anything. Yeah, this guy didn't proc the whole fight, even though he had this long of a combat log. Oh no, it did once at the beginning, the very top, for 1 point of damage. Okay. And you know, it can proc on the hoof attack. It is a thing. Okay, we lost 19 guys. It's a cool idea. Okay. These guys should get wrecked. How did I have them scripted? Attack cavalry. Why did they go after the priest? We're just going to do attack closest. I know this fancy business here. I would kind of like to get... I think we can reinforce. We're going to... Yeah. Can we kill Horse Tribe? Yes, this is actually something we're very well equipped to do. Because they're going to try to shoot at us, and that is the wrong strategy. So by the time I made her, we don't actually really want to make... So I want to get a carry-on fortress out. We want to turn up unit production again. And you can see we actually can make a lot of Centaur now. So, I mean, that's a good thing. And our income and our cap, because we're low Dominion, isn't going completely, like, to nothing. Let's make at least 5 of these. I think we're going to have a slower fort timing. I want to have more garbage. Pyrene looks real different in the next patch. Wait, did Pyrene change? Oh, I got you. That's funny. Yeah, sorry. We were going to play Pyrene, and we did, but I got too triggered. I had to quit. That series is over now. I've condemned it to death. I just can't. The range targeting is just too bad. Somebody had a great idea in one of the videos. They were like, "Oh, dude, you should just put melee units in there, and then they'll switch over to melee." And then it's the most unreliable thing, and I can't even figure out how they decide whether they're going to do it. Sometimes you have a lot of melee units. I don't know. Let's watch this Horse Tribe battle. It'll give me catharsis. That's a beautiful thing. Barbs. I think we would actually lose that fight. We actually probably want to... This actually... Let's see, did they bless the elephant and like do all the things properly here? Let's see. The elephant's fast as hell. He got procced with the combat speed buff. He's got regen on him now. I mean, the fight was over pretty quick, but if it wasn't, and he can wade, so he'll get past all the troops. We'll put her on auto site search. We're gonna get a couple more, and these also free spawn now, by the way. I think we got one free spawn that turn. Actually, yeah, one more. Do we want one more? No, we're gonna hang tight. I want to get. I think we've got enough. We're gonna put a little thing here. This bless, by the way, is not that good for the new sacred. We haven't gotten any of them yet. It's not bad for these. It's actually kind of good for these. It's kind of good on all these different attacks. So it's fine on this one. It's not good for the other one because the other one hits too hard. It does have a lot of attack. Well, no, it might be okay on that one because it does have a sleep fine attack. Okay, more Centaur. This is the thing. Low Dominion, low Dominion Asphodel can actually make a fair amount of these guys. Auto search is such a nice quality of life improvement. Yeah, it really, I think it's such an... For multiplayer, I think I'm not going to ever use it, really. I'm just going to do it manually, because I think it makes sense to do it manually. There's some, like, weird inefficiencies you can get with it. But those inefficiencies don't matter for single player. It's just so nice. Okay, we definitely can't take the barbs out of Dominion. Let's YOLO this throne. They could maybe have elementals in there that will kill us. I think that's actually going to be pretty tough. Wolf tribe. Oh, no, I don't. No, thank you. Let's take this out. I believe it's also time to rally our army forth. And what's the movement speed on these? 29 versus 20? These are slower. That's actually good. Just do blessing a bunch. Okay. They can go here, or they could go here, 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 here. That might actually work. We'll see how these guys do against 90 barbs is a lot, though. We're gonna do it. We'll just see how it goes. I think we might lose that battle, but this is one of the things, like, it's fun to play single player and just kind of, like, tune your intuition. And the only way you tune your intuition is by taking stupid fights that you might lose. Fire elementals, I don't like. No me gusta. Oh, God. And then our bless, of course, is gone now. We probably could have done fire resistance, too. That would have been a smart thing for me to do. I think what happened was we fatigued out. But we should have magic attacks. I'm a little surprised we didn't kill them more quickly. Oh, we got paralyzed. That's what actually happened. Yeah, we would have killed these. We got paralyzed. Failed an MR check. All right, let's watch the Barbarian fight. Zan saying he didn't know it was unreliable. Yes, it's extremely unreliable, I would say. And it's not clear to me how many melee you have to add. I was hoping the Centaur would crush this flank. They've taken a lot of attrition, though. That was okay. This is about as cheap as you're going to get away with taking. We lost 7 Centaur warriors, but that's a pretty hard barb province. But yeah, I think there's actually... I don't think the bless is worth it. But it was kind of cool to just test out, see how it works. I do think a 1 Dominion build is probably best for Asphodel still. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. It would be really cool if there were a way, if you had Holy 3s and you could selectively preach up to... So you have Holy 2s, these ladies. In a temple, they can preach up to Dominion Strength 5. So you could take your low-income provinces and turn them into, undead production places. You could also do this in your forests, or places you wanted to turn into forests. That won't work in things like Waste. And then you could have a Thug Bless or something like that. I think that's probably still best. I do. Because you can see we got a fair amount of power out just from making the centaur, like reanimators, and making these guys. So that's kind of what I'm thinking I would do. Is maybe the gray ones. The Titan of the Crossroads are also really cool. This would be a cool option. This bonus magic is a bit wasted. But this would definitely be something to look at. And these you could take dormant. Torch all their scales. Well, this is Dominion 3, though. Reforming flesh. I feel like you'd want to take higher paths on these. You're taking them a lot for the fact they're mages. And you need to have it so that even when they're away from each other, they're going to be able to teleport. And cast personal regen. I think you probably want something like that. Then you're like dormant or imprisoned. It's now not the time when you really need them coming online. You need them online dormant. Get reforming flesh. Oh, we have to have 6 here. And then what you could probably get Berserker as well. And then get some MR. I'm pretty sure you would rather have 7 here, even if it's a little more expensive. Something like this. And then you have to pay for it. The thing is that if you go lower Dominion, like 3 is not very low, but you're still going to have some... It's going to take a while for your Dominion to kill you at 3. But yeah, if you're doing that, you don't actually care. None of these scales affect the free, at least in Dominions 5, they don't affect the free spawn you get from your commander reanimation. So then you could actually like torch it. Just go magic because the growth is wasted in a way. You're not really going to have population. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe do something like this. I could see winning a game with a god like this. Yeah, I could see something like this working. I'm just going to save it. I probably won't ever use this in a game, but it'll be good to kind of make me think of it. For a 1 Dominion build, we'll do one of those real quick, and then we'll kind of hang up here. But a 1 Dominion build probably would be the gray one, or probably the Frostfather. And the whole point of so you actually could take good scales if you want. These, you actually don't even need these growth scales. I mean, you kind of do. But like, we're not generating free spawn. Oh, well, we will in some places because we can preach it up. So it is worth having, it is extra value, definitely having growth and magic. But I think you want order a lot. That's a pretty high priority. You're going to want cold. Probably want luck because you get kind of cool heroes. We definitely don't need this guy awake. We can go imprisoned. It gives us a lot of points to spend. What would we do? Probably a little bit less. No, we could actually... Blood's actually pretty good on us. Break into vampires. We definitely don't need high nature. And we don't really need high death. We've got pretty good death mages. We're going to stay at 1 dominion. It would be nice to break into higher astral. It might actually... This might not be the best chassis for this. If we're going high astral, the Great Sage might be better. What are the Frost Fathers? Is he still 10 per path? Yeah. I think the Great Sage... How much is he? 100 versus 110. I think the Great Sage might still be cheaper if we go Dom 5. I mean, I'm sorry, this... Water we probably don't need as high. Water we can probably get by at 1. Yeah, honestly, we don't even need death. We don't really need death, water, or nature. No, we need some death for vampires. Something like this. That doesn't necessarily look cheaper, though. I feel like we had similar paths. I think we can go by, squeak by with death, too. We can... No, fire 3 we probably do want. You can technically climb up to high fire with just fire 2 if you have the fire death cross path. So this could work. And then we have a bunch of bless points to play with. You probably want fire resistance, because that's always going to be an existential concern. You probably want a little bit of some of the resistances. You probably want White Order. Great question. Because if you do a 1 Dominion build, you're actually playing a Scales Pangea, basically. So this is going to be your main unit. Like, you're going to have swarms of undead and stuff, but those are going to be mostly reanimated from priests, like your summons. Centaur mannequins or whatever they are that you get. So you're going to be making a ton of these guys, and these guys take a lot of recruitment points. So, and as your population will stagnate in your capital, but like, it's not going to grow, you know. But yeah, anyway, basically that's it. This is the only reason that your troops cost a lot of resources. I mean, recruitment points. And then we do want reforming flesh. I think that's the one thing we splurge on here. So we probably have to cut back elsewhere. Like, it would be good having high glamour. Earth, maybe we can get by at Earth 2. We can dump productivity 1 more scale. Maybe we get by on Order 1. And that will let us get reforming flesh. So I do think this is worth picking up, even if it's going to be coming out much later in the game. You're not really going to be doing a lot of the cool stuff you're going to be doing with like undead thugs is not really early game stuff. You can do it a little bit, but I think you just play Scales Pangea basically for the first long while. Heroism could be kind of cool. Probably not. Probably not. Thugs are going to be... The thugs, like true thugs, don't really need heroism. They're going to have plenty of experience anyway. It's more for like other sacreds. Something like this. Now we can't afford this. So we have to sack something. We got a neutral order. Income minus 12. That's not bad for Asphodel. You're basically not going to be having pop kill with this build. I think this probably is pretty close to maybe one of the best ways to play them. You can use your thugs and stuff. With Elemental Fortitude, you'll be at 10 fire resistance. You have to have an answer to fire elementals. So that's a way to do it. And then your troops that you get are going to be kind of sick with this. They're going to have all the resistances and a ton of MR and reforming flesh, like the big skull dudes that we were looking at. Yeah, this would be fun to play. We might do a single player playthrough where I play with this. I don't know. Somebody, let me see if I can do this real quick. Somebody had, I believe, a link to, maybe I actually have it here. Let me see. Somebody has a Dominion 6 Bless calculator. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's in my resources. Dominion 6 resources. Let's see. I've heard this is a little buggy, but we can at least see, given the paths we took, what the cheapest way to do this is going to be. So we are 230256034. Let's see if we can remember that. 23026 2034. Great Sage is the best. How about that? Okay, we were right. Where's the Frostfather? Yeah, it's a couple points more expensive. There is, by the way, an argument for still getting the Frostfather. The argument is that the Great Sage, so this guy can research okay, you know, he's fine. He's an inspiring researcher, that's cool. The Frostfather, though, gets Cold Power 2, pretty sick, and Chill Aura 11. He can jump, like, he can kind of thug. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. He gets pretty good stats in Cold 3. And especially, Rainbows are going to be more thugging capable in Dominion 6, because armors can get, like, it's easier to get hit points in Dominion 6. So you could pay a few extra points, but we were struggling to make this break even. Oh, I had the paths wrong. 5, 6. What did I have here? Oh, the gray one comes out to cheaper. Oh, by a lot. By a lot. Okay. Crone Demi-Lich. No, we don't want the Demi-Lich. The Crone. The problem with the gray one is you don't get all the cross paths you want. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong thing. You don't get all the cross paths you want. And I forget exactly how they get broken up, but there's some annoying things. I don't think it's actually worth it. And you can't twice born them anymore. So you can't do the weird hacks where you get around how annoying Trinities can be. So I think the gray ones are now a no-go. They used to be kind of like niche and cool. I think they probably are garbage now. That's kind of my feeling. But the Crone may be actually the pick here. They're old. Okay. We don't have a way to get... I can't remember if we can make disease healing items, but let's go ahead and put the paths in here. Because it was significantly cheaper. The other interesting thing about the Crone is you don't get a chest slot. So you definitely can't use the Crone to thug in a pinch. But you get 2 extra miscellaneous slots, which means you can climb paths a lot easier. So that's kind of a cool thing about her. I think I would rather have somebody who's tougher. I think I would probably... let me go back and look. There's this thing, gray ones are the cheapest. Crone is next. Demi-Lich. Freak Lord after that. Then Great Sage. So Freak Lord or Great Sage? Let's look. Freak Lord. Trinity works well for research rushing. Yeah, we're imprisoned, though. And the research bonus you get isn't huge. The Great Sage would probably be better. The Freak Lord and his Freak. The Freak Lord might be cool to pick. Is it higher map movement than the other guys? 16. 16. Yeah. It could, I mean, that could be cool. This guy would probably thug better, too. I mean, he would lose his freak mount a fair amount. 6, 5, 2, 3, 3 or 2, I can't remember. 3, 4. This is about the same as the Great Sage. It's a little bit cheaper. You could, if you wanted to, get an extra Dominion point, but definitely don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can take your pick. How much? What's the difference between the Frostfather? The Frostfather was basically... Oh. Now, we could also do the Frostfather for this price. And you get a free water path, too. Did I not put water in? I keep going back to Dominions 5. Oh, yeah, we don't have any frost. So, yeah, maybe you get the Frostfather. This might be the best one. 2, 5, 6, 0, 3, 4. Oh, Illwinter has said this is ordained by the gods. It's 0 points. This must be part of the pre-configured great master plan for dominions, that this god should exist. That's how you know you've come up with a good build. Nothing matters except that you have 0 design points at the end. Yeah, this guy, I get pretty good vibes from him. I get pretty good vibes. What else could you maybe do to optimize this? Like, you could... Yeah, no, I think this is pretty good. All right, let's save it. We're probably in the stream here. We might, oh, what should we name him? Frostfather, God of Asphodel, Grandfather Wrinkles. I don't know why, but somehow this just seems very fitting for the God of Asphodel. It would be funny to have 0 leftover points tournament. Yeah, that would be funny. have a game where like everybody must submit gods with 0 points left over. You can't use any build that doesn't have 0 points. That would be a hilarious game. Because they just will like strictly invalidate certain things, you know? Like there's certain things you want to do and you just can't. It would invalidate a lot of things. It's like, it would be like playing, you know, I don't know, like doing the lottery, but you can only use prime numbers or something. I don't know. Dominion 1? Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. It's, the idea of Dominion 1 is, so the reason that you would consider doing a Dominion 1 build is the amount of pop kill you get is 1% for every candle you have in a province. I don't think it's mentioned here explicitly, but that's the mechanic. So it's 1%. So if you have growth 4, you can actually compensate for 1 candle of Dominion. But if you get 2 candles, you're losing 2% now. No amount of growth will make up for it. And by the time you're at 3 candles, you're on a slow path to pretty quick oblivion. 2 candles... You are definitely going to be taking major gold losses every turn, but you know, after like 100 turns, you're still at a reasonable population in most of your places. Not big, but like reasonable. But at 3 candles, everything's dying. You know, so that's the thing. The turning videos made me wonder what a public Diplo turning would look like. I don't think public Diplo actually helps anything. I don't know. In some ways, it makes things like more dogpiley because people now know that you're getting attacked. And like once 2 people have done it, a lot of times people are like, oh, it's funny, I'll be the 3rd. You know? People get exasperated. I don't know. I think the solution is somehow in the maps. But thank you all for watching. Well, I know this wasn't much of a Pyrene playthrough. But yeah. See you all next time. Cheers.